All right, Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles, a great millstone for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. And basically, this is going to be a quick lesson, to, kind of put some foresight out there to kind of make you understand through the spirit, or make our viewers and the brothers and sisters, the Akim and the Akwath, watching, to really put in perspective what type of situation and condition our people are in, okay? Because it actually goes back to the scriptures, okay? Because the scriptures likens this place that we're in now as Sodom and Egypt spiritually, okay? You know what? Let me get it, because we are currently in another Egypt, and the word Egypt means double straits or bondage or captivity, okay? And that is what we were in under Pharaoh, all right? Under the people of Matazarium, which were the people of Ham, okay? They descended from the son Ham, one of the three sons of Noah, okay? But let me get this first to kind of set the tone through the spirit. All right, this is Revelations 11. This is Revelations 11:8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Okay, and this is the last book of the Bible, all right? And it's talking about the last days. It's talking about the end times, all right? And there would be a city, a great city, which would be known spiritually as Sodom and Egypt. Why? Because in this last ruling kingdom, which we're currently in, America, Babylon the Great, spoken of throughout the Old Testament, all right, the spirit of sodomy is pushed here, which is homosexuality and lesbianism, also transgenderism, and all these other types of things that are contrary to the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, so that's why it would be likened unto spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt, all right, because like I said before, Egypt means double straits, bondage, captivity, and that is the condition that you see the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in, which are the Israelites by blood, once again, like in the old times, man. Okay, so we are in that Egypt spoken of in this scripture in Revelations, the 11th chapter and the 8th verse. Okay, and now we're coming back to the realization that we are the children of Israel, each to our respective tribe. Okay, so this is giving you a perspective on what kind of society and kingdom we're really in, what kind of condition we're really in these last days. Okay, we are in bondage. It doesn't matter if you're a Jake that makes a lot of money, you're still a slave, you don't own anything, and you ultimately work for another corporation or another owner or a business, all right, that for the most part was probably founded off of slavery, because slavery of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans was the actual first commodity, all right, on the stock market, man. Okay, because, and that shows you, man, this is Egypt, this is a bondage for us. But now, since we're coming back to our realization, back to the spirit of our power, our God, of this universe, of this planet, all right, who's in charge of the angels inside of these chariots, in which the so-called white man, the biblical Edomites, are seeing and deeming as UFOs, all right, this is all prophecy, because we're coming back, all right, to our nationality, and all these things are happening simultaneously. Now you see all these plagues breaking forth. Read about that, man. It's in the book of Exodus, man. Let's get it. Let's go back to let's get this real quick. Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to the book of Exodus. All right, this is Exodus chapter 1 and 7. I'm gonna start at 6. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph, because Joseph was he had very strong connections with the Pharaoh before he died, and with the rulers of Egypt. He was highly esteemed in that society before he died. But then there arose another Pharaoh that knew not Joseph. All right, and what did he do? He oppressed. All right, and he put the children of Israel under bondage, and it's going to go into that. And it's kind of, you can liken that like unto now, man. We're in another Egypt. We're in another captivity where we're subject to payments and subject to burdens. Working every day, working a 9 to 5. Even though you're getting some benefit, you might get a carnal check, you might get a little bit of money in your pocket. It's all slavery, because in all actuality, us, the children of Israel, we're supposed to be the ruling class. Okay? Why? Because we were given the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But now we're seeing, all right, in the world starting to understand who is supposed to really be in the rulership position to really make this earth prosper like it's supposed to, because this is the Most High's footstool. Okay? Exodus 1 and 10, Exodus 1 and 9, excuse me. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we, because we're mightier than these Edomites, man. Okay? Now they've gotten the upper hand because the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, has given the earth into them. You can read that in Job, the 9th chapter, and the 24th verse. That's why you see that this is the ruling class. They're on the money. All right, they own all the businesses. They own all the transgenerational wealth, because the Lord has given the Lord has given the earth into their hands. But it's only for a short time. Okay, it seems like a long time because the Most High's years and his timing is different from ours. One day to us, or one day to us is 1,000 years to the Most High, man. Okay, and 1,000 years to the Most High is one day. It tells you that in the scriptures, man. Okay, roughly paraphrasing, one day is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day to the Most High. So his timing is different. It seems like we've been in this captivity for going on 1,000 years. I think it's going on about 600-700 years now. Okay, you know, roughly giving an estimate. But now we are in that day where we're awakening, man, through the Spirit. And you know it's through the Spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. This realization in this reality of us liking ourselves unto these times, back in the land of Ham, back in Egypt, the first bondage and captivity we were in. Okay, under the people of Matzazarium, the Hamites. All right, let's continue. Exodus 1 and 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. So who built this city, man? Who built the United States? Okay? Excuse me for this noise. Who built the United States? Who built the skyscrapers? All right? Who built these businesses? Who's the working class? Who's the working force in this country? And wherever we're scattered? The children of Israel. So it's likened unto the same thing. We are in another Egypt. That's why in Revelations, the 11th chapter, it says that this place that we're currently in, America, Babylon the Great, is likened unto spiritual Egypt and Sodom. You see? Exodus 1 and 12. All right, because we're afflicted here. We're afflicted under hard burdens and taskmasters. Some of our people are our taskmasters over us, and they're wicked. And they burden our people. And they put strict bondage over our people. It's just like this, the first Egypt, man. That's why Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 tells you there's nothing new under the sun. Just like you had wicked of our people all throughout our history, throughout the times of the kings, throughout the times of the judges, you have the same thing in these last days. All right, and it's heightened. So you have a lot of our people that are in a wicked mindset, and that makes up the 2/3. It tells you in Zechariah, the 13th chapter and the 8th verse, that they're going to be cut off. All right, in this wilderness that we're in. Okay, and the Lord is going to save a remnant, elect remnant, out of this bondage, out of this last Egypt. All right, Exodus 1 and 12. But Exodus 1 and 11, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. That's exactly what's happening now. You see the ruling class, all right, nation over us, the nation of Edom, all right, their birth rates are plummeting. While the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, your birth rates are continuously going up. And you're in captivity. That's how you can know through the Spirit and discern that we're the children of Israel. Because every time we're afflicted and in bondage, we do the exact same thing. We reproduce, all right, and we're under so much stress. And a lot of Jake just has sex, so they reproduce and make more and more kids. That's why they have to. That's why they have to demonically plan and privily shoot at us via Planned Parenthood, poison in the food, poisoning the neighborhoods, poisoning the water in our neighborhoods, etc. All these different things to bring us down and destroy us. But it doesn't work because we're going to continuously multiply because we have Yahweh Bashem Yahushai behind us as a power. All right. And ultimately, the people that are not in the right spirit, the wicked of our people, all right, they're going to be cut off. But ultimately, you can see that we are the children of Israel because the same exact thing is happening all over again. History, as they got that famous quote, history repeats itself. We are in another Egypt. We are in another bondage and captivity under another taskmaster, under another Pharaoh. The modern day Pharaoh is what? Trump. Okay, same thing. All right, different time in history. Exodus 1:14. Let's see if this sounds familiar. Exodus 1:14, and they made their lives. Excuse me. Let's start at 13. Exodus 1:13. Exodus 1:12. Let's start at 12 again. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Okay, let's get this word rigor. All right, I don't want to make this too long. This is just to give a spiritual perspective so that our people can understand and come back to the fact that they're the Israelites, man. And come back to the fact and understand why we're in this position because of our sin and our iniquities, man, and for our forefathers. Ultimately, we are our forefathers coming back. All right. The word rigor, let's go into the dictionary.com. Bear with me 1 second. All right, the word rigor, I don't know why. Bear with me 1 second. Showing no definitions of this word. All right, rigor. Definition of rigor: a severe or harsh act, circumstance, etc. Scrupulous or inflexible accuracy or adherence. All right, but the first one, it lets you know, and it shows you, and you can relate to that type of condition that we're in, man. We're in a very severe, harsh predicament here in Babylon the Great, man. Here in this last Egypt. Okay, that's why you have our people first fired. All right, last hired, first fired. All right, living in the slums, dying of different diseases, because the people that are over us are afflicting us with rigor. Okay, just like the times that we were in Egypt, man. Exodus 1:14, and they made their lives bitter. Sounds like a nation over us now. With hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All right, our people came over here in slave ships, and what did they do? They served hard bondage, rigorous bondage for free. And it's not much different today. They just gave us a little bit of crumbs for our rigorous work now. But ultimately, it's the same thing happening again, man. Exodus 1:14, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. You see? That's why Jake is stressed out. Smoking Newport, smoking cigarettes, drinking cheap liquor, smoking crack, on drugs, doing pills, drinking lean. Because of the rigorous condition that these people have us in this captivity, in this bondage, in this Egypt, man. Ultimately, we're coming back to this realization that we're the Israelites in these last days, simultaneously why these plagues are happening and why this other nation above us is falling, because the Lord is about to redeem us and is about to save the remnant of Israel out of this place, just like during the time of the first Egypt, man. And we're going to be saved from this rigorous work. Exodus 1:14, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. Okay? But ultimately, the Lord's going to come save us out of this place, man. All right? Let's get this real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Grab this scripture. see if I can Google it. If you can't find scriptures, roughly paraphrase the scripture in Google and it'll help you. Use it a lot. Real edifying. Let's see here. Bear with me 1 second. There we go. Let's get this. This is Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 15. Let's see if I can start up. Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, which was that first Egypt we read about in the book of Exodus. All right, that this place is likened unto spiritually. Jeremiah 16 and 15. But Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. All right, which is where we currently are. So this prophecy didn't happen. This is what we're going into. These are the days that we're going into. Okay, it's not going to be said anymore that the Lord brought the children of Israel out of, or us, out of the land of Egypt, which was in Africa. All right, but it shall be said, let's read it again, Jeremiah 16 and 15. But Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, where we currently are, and from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. And this is why they're seeing the chariots. This is why they're seeing the so-called UFOs. Because those are going to be our deliverance and our vehicles out of this place, man. Out of this Egypt. Okay? And that's why you see this, man. And ultimately, with that destruction, with that salvation is going to come the destruction from Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let's get this. One of my favorite scriptures is Isaiah 19. And it's talking about this Egypt. Isaiah 19 and 1. The burden of Egypt. Okay. Behold, Yahweh liveth. Yahweh rideth. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai rideth upon a swift cloud, which is one of those huge chariots that he's coming back in. It's spoken of in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Isaiah 19, and that's what's going to come into this realm. This is why they're seeing the UFOs. UFOs have been made mainstream, man. Because the scriptures are speaking. The prophecies are speaking. Okay? And it's all likened and has to do with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because you are the people of the Lord, man. All right? And a remnant of you, Lord willing, I'm one of them, is going to be saved and saved out of this place, man. And put into one of those chariots, all right, to be taken back to our land, man. All right? Our punishment is over. Okay? Lamentations, the 4th chapter tells you that. Isaiah 19 and 1, the burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Okay, so this is the Egypt that we are currently in bondage in, all right, which is spoken of in Revelation the 11th chapter, spiritually Sodom and Egypt, and this is the same Egypt, all right, likened unto the land of the north in Jeremiah the 16th chapter that the Lord is going to come redeem us in. That's why I tells you he's going to come into this place on a swift cloud, and that cloud is the chariots. You can read about that in Psalms, which is the so-called UFO, man. So we are at the end of this captivity, all right? The Lord is about to redeem us, Lord willing. We endure and continue to teach this word because prophecies are unfolding. And like Apostle Rakas says, they're popping like popcorn, which signifies that we're almost out of this place, man. We're almost out of this Egypt, this bondage, the land of the north, spoken of in Jeremiah the 6th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying. Call Halayim, La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the great millstone, for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures. Citations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. Shalom and abad babal.